Hello friends and welcome to Parks Crafty Creations. I'm your host Brian Parks. Today, I'm taking a plain, ordinary sweatshirt and giving it a total glow up. We're going to convert it from a pullover into a zip front sweatshirt, add a bold fabric accent to frame that zipper, and then finish things off by shortening the sleeves to a comfortable 3/4 length. This is a great project if you want to update something already in your closet or customize a sweatshirt to better fit your lifestyle. Before we jump in, if you enjoy this content, be sure to give us a like down below, as it really does help out the channel. Do it now please, and if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell icon so you'll always be notified whenever a new video drops. And hey, if you love what we do here, don't forget to share us with your friends. Now that the housekeeping is out of the way, we've got a lot to cover. So, let's jump in. The first thing we need to do is find the exact center of the sweatshirt we're going to be altering. I start by folding it in half, lining up the side seams as carefully as possible. Once everything is aligned, I press that fold to give myself a nice, crisp center line down the front. I went ahead and marked that pressed line with tailor's chalk so you can clearly see what I'm working with. This is the line we'll be cutting along to open up the front of our sweatshirt. Next, I grab my sewing shears and carefully cut straight up the middle, following that chalk line. This officially turns our pullover sweatshirt into an open front piece and gives us the space we need to add our zipper. At this point, you could absolutely just install a zipper as is. You might choose a zipper that matches your sweatshirt, or maybe one in a fun color for a little pop. But I wanted to do something a bit bolder, so I decided to frame the zipper with a batik jelly roll strip to really make it stand out. The jelly roll strip I'm using is 2.5 inches wide. I fold it in half lengthwise, which gives me a 1.25 inch fold. For this project, I want a very clean finish without visible stitches on the front. So, instead of sewing along the raw edge, I'm going to stitch directly down that folded edge. Once the strip is pinned or clipped along the edge of my sweatshirt, I use a seam gauge to measure out that 1.25 inch fold at my machine. You can also use tape as a guide, but I used a magnetic seam guide on my machine. I stitch straight down the fold, keeping everything as even as possible. I'll be honest, my stitch wasn't absolutely perfect, and I had a little bit of fabric folding past the edge. That's totally okay. We'll trim things down later. After stitching, I fold the fabric over along that stitch line and give it a good press so everything looks nice and crisp. Then I repeat that entire process on the other side of the sweatshirt, so both sides match. Now, it's time to add the zipper. I line up the bottom of the sweatshirt with the bottom of the zipper and clip it in place, with right sides together. Once that's secure, I take it to the sewing machine and using my zipper foot, stitch as close to the zipper teeth as I can. If you've never used a zipper foot before, or want a little extra guidance, I do have a separate video all about that. I'll link it up here and also down in the description box below. After the zipper is attached, it's time to clean up the inside. When you fold the zipper back so the teeth sit exactly where they should along the edge of the sweatshirt, you may notice a little excess fabric from the jelly roll or even from the sweatshirt itself. Go ahead and trim that down so everything lies flat. At this point, you could run a line of stitches down the edge to hold the zipper in place, but again, I wanted a completely clean look with no visible stitching on the outside. So, instead, on the inside of the sweatshirt, I slip stitched the zipper into place. This encloses all of those raw edges and gives a really professional finish. Now, let's finish the top and bottom of the zipper. The top is definitely the trickier part, so we'll tackle that first. I trim the top of the zipper to the correct length and then fold the zipper tape at a 45-degree angle down and away from the teeth. This gives the zipper room to move freely at the neckline. I've seen methods where the zipper is just folded straight down and stitched, but that can interfere with the zipper opening and closing, and I really wanted to avoid that. Next, I trim the excess jelly roll fabric so it can fold in half while still reaching the stitch line at the collar. Since I'll be top stitching here, I plan to follow the existing collar stitch line so everything blends together nicely. I fold the leftover fabric in half, press it, then fold it over again, enclosing the end of the zipper underneath. Once it's clipped into place, I stitch it down to secure it. I also repeat that stitch on the front, right over the original stitches, which helped clean up the look even more. The bottom is finished in a very similar way, but since there's no extra zipper length to enclose, we're just finishing the end of the fabric strip. I fold it in half, press it, fold it over again, and stitch it in place. You could also slip stitch this edge if you want an even cleaner interior finish. I didn't on mine, but it's absolutely an option. Then, I repeat that same process on the other side. And just like that, the zipper is fully installed with a beautiful, bold trim framing it down the front. Now, let's move on to the sleeves. The sleeves on this sweatshirt were just too long for what we wanted. Living in Florida, sweatshirts are more often about chilly restaurants and venues than cold weather. So 3/4 length sleeves make a lot more sense as something that you can keep in the car for when the need arises. To get a rough measurement, I folded the sleeve in half until the cuff lined up with the sleeve seam and pressed it right there. I did a couple of measurements off camera, and this method worked out perfectly. I marked that fold with tailor's chalk so you can see it clearly. Then used my rotary cutter to cut the sleeve off at that mark. To finish the raw edge, I'm using fold-over elastic. You can find this at most sewing shops or online. I bought a pack with several colors, and one of them happened to match my batik jelly roll perfectly. So, that was an easy choice. I'll put a link to the pack I purchased in case you're interested in it for your project. I measured the elastic a couple of inches shorter than the sleeve opening so it would gently cinch the sleeves once attached. For reference, my sleeve opening was about 16 inches, and I cut my elastic to 14 inches. In hindsight, I probably could have gone another inch or two shorter, but this worked just fine. I stitched the two ends of the elastic together using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and folded the ends open. To attach it to the sleeve, I matched that seam to the sleeve seam and clipped it in place. Then, I stretched both the elastic and the sleeve straight out to find the opposite side and clipped there as well. I added a few more clips in between to keep everything evenly distributed. Starting at the seam, I stitched all the way around, stretching the elastic as I went and making sure my stitches caught the sweatshirt fabric inside the fold of the elastic. As long as I kept my stitches straight and the elastic pulled evenly, it handled really well. I repeat the same process for the other sleeve. And that completes the project. We've taken a basic pullover sweatshirt and turned it into a custom zip front piece with a bold accent and practical 3/4 sleeves. I absolutely loved how this turned out, and it's such a great way to update something you already own. If you enjoyed this project, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and let me know in the comments what fabric or color combo you'd use for your version. Thanks so much for watching and sewing with me today. I've been Brian Parks for Parks Crafty Creations. We'll see you next time.